Today, we need to talk about the tragic highway collision in Nigeria involving former heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. We're going to break down exactly what we know so far.
So the core of the story is this. On December 29, 2025, Anthony Joshua was involved in a really severe, high-speed car crash. And tragically, it resulted in fatalities. Let's get right into the verified facts.
Okay, let's just lay out the basics. The who, what, when, where. The who is, of course, Anthony Joshua and members of his team. What was a single-vehicle crash, their SUV hitting a parked truck at high speed. This all happened on Monday, December 29th, around 11 in the morning, on a major highway, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And the why he was there, it was a personal trip, a visit home after a big win in the ring.
So, how did this actually happen? Let's take a closer look at the sequence of events that led to this terrible outcome on such a busy road. You know, what's really shocking is how fast this all unfolded. We're talking about a span of just 3 minutes. Around 11 a.m., the SUV is traveling down the expressway. Just 1 minute later, it tries to overtake another car, apparently at high speed. A minute after that, the driver loses control. And by 11:03 a.m., it's over. The SUV crashes into that truck. It's just a catastrophic chain of events in the blink of an eye.
So, to put it simply, the preliminary findings point to a clear three-part sequence. First, an unsafe attempt to pass another car. Second, a complete loss of control of the vehicle. And third, the devastating final impact.
And this is a really important point. We need to separate what's official from what's just speculation. Officially, Nigeria's Federal Road Safety Corps is pointing to excessive speed and that unsafe overtake. But you also had some unconfirmed witness reports floating around, mentioning things like a possible tire blowout or some other mechanical failure. Right now, though, the official investigation seems to be focused on driver action.
You know, the mechanics of the crash are one thing. But the real story, the heartbreaking part of all this, is the human cost. This is the toughest part to talk about.
Because 2 people lost their lives in this collision.
2 members of Joshua's inner circle were tragically killed. His physiotherapist and friend, Sina Gahami, and a longtime member of his team, Latif Latz Ayadeli. As for Joshua himself, he was a passenger and thankfully only had minor injuries. He was reported to be in stable condition.
At the moment, we understand that Anthony Joshua has been taken away from the accident scene and has been taken to the hospital to get checked. But the Lexus Jeep, which he occupied with 2 people in front, was ran into a stationary truck. And you could see the impact of that accident, losing 2 people seated in front of that truck. But Anthony Joshua's getting minor injuries there and was seen taken away from the vehicle, wriggling in pain, and then taken into the vehicle of the police convoy that came with him, to heading up to that Makun area in Ogun State. You know that Anthony Joshua has got his ancestral home here in Ogun State, Nigeria, and that's what he thought in the festive period. But at this time, we're hearing this news around the Lexus Jeep, which he occupied, heading up to that Makun area in Ogun State, ramming into that stationary truck, and we could see the impact, and that's why at the moment, the 2 who occupied the front seat of that Lexus Jeep have been confirmed dead. But Anthony Joshua has been taken to the hospital, taken away from that accident scene right now, and is being given attention.
We also know 1 other person was injured and taken to the hospital, while 2 others were apparently unhurt.
As you can imagine, the second this news broke, the reaction was immediate, and it came from all over the world, not just Nigeria.
The boxing world, of course, reacted right away. This quote here is from Jake Paul, the very man Joshua had knocked out just about 10 days before this happened. It really shows you how all that rivalry just disappears in the face of something so awful.
And this wasn't just a public reaction. It got attention at the highest levels. The president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is said to have personally called Joshua to offer his sympathy. Meanwhile, the FRSC is taking the lead on the investigation. And because Joshua is such a prominent British citizen, the UK's Foreign Office also got involved, stating they were monitoring the situation and were ready to help. And what makes all of this even more tragic is the context. You have to remember why he was in Nigeria in the first place. This wasn't work. It was a deeply personal trip. He was there to celebrate that huge win and to connect with his family roots. So, where do things go from here? Well, the immediate crisis might be over, but the work to figure out exactly what happened is very much ongoing.
So what are investigators focusing on now? Well, they're doing a complete mechanical teardown of that SUV to see if there was any kind of failure.
That includes a deep dive on the tires to see if there's any truth to those rumors of a blowout. They're also hunting for any surveillance video or dashcam footage that might have caught the incident. And of course, the difficult work continues, formally identifying the victims, working with their families, and keeping tabs on the injured survivor.
And really, that's the thought that sticks with you, isn't it? A journey that started with so much joy and celebration, a huge victory, a trip home, ending in just an instant of absolute, unimaginable loss. It's just a devastating reminder of how fragile life is and how quickly everything can change.